I gave you my heart.
Hi guys, so right now I'm with this sister Zimkhitha. I will not introduce her. She'll do that because wow. How are you, myself? How are you?
I'm good. I'm exhausted, but a good exhaustion.
Yeah.
Yes.
So please tell us, who is Zimkhitha?
Zimkhitha Kumbaca is an actress, director, playwright, theatre maker in general, but
She's
also
the older version
musician.
of me.
Listen to this.
I can sing.
Yes, I'm that Zimkhitha. When you Google, and you check music or you check out Apple and you just type Zimkhitha, that's the Zimkhitha.
Okay, so the festival.
Yes.
27 years.
Yes.
How long have you been doing the festival?
This is my first year. I mean, they
first
were
year.
appointing resident Zwakala Festival directors from last year, and so I'm the second, Zwakala Festival director throughout this festival, because this festival has been around for some time now, and they've been creating beautiful work. They've been doing this process of intervening with different groups, communities get involved, and so joining the Zwakala Festival team, in this year was like, I say this year, but actually last year. This is when, it was absolutely not really made it, but also from a learning point of view, because it's so easy to, not easy, but I'm used to directing one show, one play, just focusing on one play, where I, direct the vision, see where we're going with the story, see where we're going with the performance for the actors, the vision overall for the audience to kind of
enjoy and cry
and engagement, a lot of engagement. So now I was thrown into the deep end almost, where now I have to look at different concepts, different stories from people who are creating work from different communities.
And
it's very community-based, from community theatre spaces, And everybody likes to think it's like a lavish, like you have to have the actual theatre to, start this process.
It's not.
No, you have a space, you have a room. Let's work.
Do it in the bedroom. So in the beginning, you said you had like 40 plays.
40 productions.
30 productions.
Some were concepts when we visited them. Some were just, by the way, I didn't do it alone. I mean, during this process of identifying shows, I was with who's been in this for like 20 years. It's the only year that he didn't attend the Zwakala Festival, and due to, unforeseen circumstances. But honestly speaking, it was a thrilling journey. And it was an amazing journey. It was a roller coaster, emotionally charged in general. Like even the performers that we worked with, they all are coming, most of them young people.
And it's mostly young people.
I never thought I would say the word young people because I'm so young. But now I realize that people are younger than me. But still, getting these things, started when it comes to the, storytelling, written work, they have ideas and they're so fresh. Every group that I met up with had something to say. And that for me, was the faith. Not that, faith, sometimes, theaters for some.
It is.
This is what I come for Sundays. If you want to know what I do for Sundays, this is what I do.
This is my church.
So, they had stories to tell, young people had stories to tell. Young people wanted to say something, but not in the usual sense. But now we're using theatre, we're using movement. All sorts. We're investigating. We're investigating things that we were taught are wrong. Now we're saying, okay, but why do you say it's wrong?
Let's figure out.
How do we know?
Let's talk about it.
And we had to look at stories that would really question the world
right now. Because yesterday, after watching a certain play, I wouldn't mention it. I was like, what?
Which play? Say it. Because the thing is, that's the thing. We like acting like, not acting, but like
we're pretending like everything is fine when it's not.
Right?
It's Zimkhitha. I was so inspired because I'm a theatre person myself.
Yes.
I was so inspired and motivated. I'm like, how do I join in?
You start.
Right?
That's why I'm saying we shouldn't make it an exclusive thing where you must be in a theatre building to create theatre. You must be in the perfect desk to write the story. Get perfect paper with
Sit
nice
down on the
Gucci
carpet
pens.
and write.
You have something to say, write it down. Write it down wherever. You know, my lecturer back in the day once said that, you know what, if you must, carry papers, notes, wherever your pen is always on standby, because ideas flow like this and sometimes you forget them, you have to write them down. And then next thing you know, okay, that's the next thing I need to talk about. Hey, this topic is bothering me. And one theatre practitioner, once said, if it's your burden and it's the one, it's something that is troubling you.
Yes.
It's not up to us to be troubled. It's troubling you, right? Then you write about it. You say people need to speak about this some more. People need to write about this. People need to direct this some more. No, it's bothering you. It's your story.
It's your
then it
story.
means it's your story to tell.
Shucks, guys. I mean,
It's your baggage. Every morning,
it's heavy on you. It's your burden.
Then this is where theatre
Offload.
comes in. Offload. Write it down. Share these experiences.
I found healing because one of the plays that I watched yesterday, I related so much to it. I even cried.
You have to.
You
end up doing that.
Yes. But I found healing.
Here's the thing about each show. I mean, the Zwakala Festival starts with 40. We have the Golapeng showcases where I did the judges.
Yes.
No. Before the judges, intercede. But like before then, I and Brasipo, collaborated and spoke about the top 8.
Yes.
That the public really needs to see. And the top 8, they really pulled through. There were 8 shows, they were charged, they were beautiful, And each story was different from the next. No one came with the same topic. That's not possible.
Yes.
But people were, really determined to tell their stories, which was amazing. The judges chose 4 shows, and those 4 shows worked. And they worked with different mentors, Diamond Mugab and Oscar Mutsingwa, worked with them during this process. But out of that, I was there right through.
Yes.
I would visit them over and over again and have my share, when in terms of, the feedback sessions, because those are also important. We need to hear how
the process,
how it feels for you, how it feels for us. It was always that kind of engagement. So that we are growing, we are developing, we are making sure that the standard of theatre grows, it doesn't deteriorate in this age of social media, technology and all the sorts. So we got to a point where, Zwakala Festival director got to a point where each show, no matter how many times I saw it, they engaged me again and again. They messed around with my feelings again and again. And they made me see more things, vision-wise, directorially, story-wise, narrative. What can we add? What's missing the plot? What is it missing? All these things. I was so driven with them. I was with them in this process, and each day, I always joke about the fact that I dreamt about their shows every 2 seconds because I was so involved every time. I was having conversations with myself, really having a 3-way here. And then I come back and I see the show. I know they've grown, they've worked on notes. It was amazing. It was an amazing experience.
I can imagine.
Honestly speaking. And so by the time you see it for the first time, the audience, you're just like, please, no, but I'm still there with you. I'm also getting emotionally driven. So many topics were so personal, you know what I mean? I mean, these are 4 productions from different places of, Gauteng, because the festival currently is Gauteng based. It used to be national, now it's only Gauteng based. As we know, the country is going through, a lot in terms of the budgets. With the first story, the show that opened the Zwakala Festival on the 8th of Feb was a Promise Not Written in Stone.
Yes.
And that was written and directed by Busisiwe Mazibuko. You know, I loved that show. It's a group from Pretoria.
Yes.
So they really did the work. They really put in everything.
I feel like they all did, hey? They all
and the story
showed up for themselves.
The story is, I know it's stories about being misled, being lost, being in love, or infatuation, the promises, the careless whispers in between, and the repercussions that come with that. And the fact that they didn't try to make it too educational.
No.
It was so honest. It was so
and it was
really
relatable.
honest and relatable. So this is, I loved the piece. Party from Sharpeville.
What's that is so true, guys? Because I'm so true. Yes, my people.
Written and directed by Isaac Stoley, was also the choreographer. So it was so inspirational, that show. It really moved me. They did so much hard work.
Yes, because also the accents and
going in and out of these processes was not child's play, And then on the 9th we had arts by Tabang Boshane from Davidton, and then the last show was Duka Day from Soshanguve.
Yes.
It was written by Bugabi Sibapu, as well as, and directed by Lishenene.
I know Lishenene, I know his work.
Really?
I know Lisenene's work.
It was beautiful. But the group as well, because they've been in this journey. That's the thing. People think these guys meet for 1 year.
Yeah.
And that was that. These guys have been in it for years. I've seen them in different, they kept on with the story. They kept on developing, kept on growing.
Polishing.
And then they decided, no, actually the perfect place to enter, the competition to enter, the place where we know we will be developed and thoroughly scrutinized, but also grow in the best way, was the Zwakala Festival. So they came through for this, and I was happy to see that, because I know I've seen them before, and I was like, heck, people don't give up,
Now, so you got the for yourself.
Exactly, they work, and that's the thing about the art, not just the arts industry, but like theatre industry. You don't just say it's going to happen one time. There's a day two.
Yeah, arts.
Currently, the working title is Arts. It was written and directed by Tabang Boshane, and choreographer, I think, and I just forgot his surname. The music was Tulani. But the cast is amazing. From Umbani Dombela to Sumsumajola to I wish I could name them. Nobuntu, as well as. Now the names are like running and oh my gosh.
But all of you guys, we love all of you guys.
Yeah.
You know what I love the most? The language. Guys, stick to, because now usually when I perform, I know I lose myself when I speak English. I'll be talking in Sotho, then I mix English, but then I lose the character. Because I want to be like this perfect English, yes, I'm from the C class. I love how the language.
I think for me it hit harder.
Yes.
Because it was, they tapped into languages. They tap into the languages, and it's always refreshing to see not just one language explored, all these South African languages that we have in this country. Not all of them, unfortunately, with this specific story, but because of the placement of the story as well. But they at least try to explore from every level, and they explored deep topics that were that we're too embarrassed as a community
to talk about.
Yes. And they put it right there, and they're not speaking from a judgmental point of view, but they're speaking from a point of view where now we are saying this is where we are coming from, and we are telling it not from a judgmental point of view, but here's a story, take it or leave it.
Sure. Where to from now with the cast?
We're starting to rehearse immediately. The day after this showcase, we are rehearsing. Tomorrow we are rehearsing.
When are they?
They are they're right here at the Ramala Marchen. It's the absolute perfect space for this kind of show, but also for the timing of the Zwakala Festival.
Yes.
Everything, the meaning of Zwakala Festival, also the Ramala Marchen, the actor, the performer himself, it says it all. I mean, because it's almost like, guys, it's like we're coming back full circle.
Yeah.
For me, it's like a full circle journey, Jay. We're going to be rehearsing we only have a week to make things come together. and the show is opening officially on the 19th of February.
Mm-hmm.
And we're going to be working, I'm going to be directing.
You're going to be directing?
Yes.
Best believe I'm here.
Zimkhitha Kumbaca is directing
Yeah.
this play. And it's going to be amazing. It's going to be amazing. The process is going to be very, very, it's going to be daunting. It's going to be lovely.
But it's
going to
all
be
worth it.
amazing. It's going to be awesome. It's going to be, there's going to be a lot of unpacking. You know, I love working with creatives, you know, and going back and forth. That's my process. I love it.
Yes.
You know, this is why I went into this work, because I believe in storytelling. I believe in our stories. Specifically in this place that we are. I believe in reflection. I believe in really engaging audiences, but also
look at the
bringing
excitement in your face.
It's what this is what we work for.
Thank you.
This is what we wake up every day for.
And
I know that the audience, guys, it's unpredictable. Just when you think you know.
Yeah.
You don't.
You don't.
If you're not ready, oh well.
Guys, let's come on the 19th of
February. We are opening this show. I still say it's a working title.
Yes.
The title might change, but 19th of February, be here at the Ramlaun Makhene Theatre, which is right here in the premises of the Market Foundation.
Yes.
Market Theatre Foundation. So at the Market Square. So please come through and expect, but don't expect.
Also, bring your tissues, guys. Bring, you know.
But also bring your laughter, because it's real. Even there, it's real.
Thank you, Zimkhitha. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
Older me.
Oh, thank you. Oh, now I feel old. I'm like, I need to rethink my life.
Hey, but now I'm young.
Surely now.
No, I'm like young.
Youngish.
I'm young. You are young.
I own that one. That's mine.
Yes, that's you.
Yes. Thank you.
Thank you, guys.